In the heart of Salt Lake City, the life of a young college student named Mackenzie Speth Lueck took a haunting and tragic turn. Her story is one of promise, mystery, and the relentless search for answers. Mackenzie's sudden disappearance sent shockwaves through her community, leaving her friends, family, and law enforcement authorities in a desperate race against time to uncover the truth. Mackenzie, known for her vibrant spirit and ambition, was a cherished daughter, sister, and friend. Her vanishing left her loved ones devastated, grappling with the uncertainty of her fate. A massive search effort was launched, involving local police, FBI agents, and volunteers. Friends and family desperately searched for Mackenzie, hoping for her safe return. But as days turned into weeks, hope began to fade. And then, on June 28, 2019, Mackenzie's body was found. Her death shocked and saddened many people across the United States, and her story became a reminder of the dangers of online dating and the importance of staying safe in today's society. But who was Mackenzie Speth Lueck? And what happened in those final moments of her life? This is the story of Mackenzie Speth Lueck. Mackenzie Speth Lueck was born on March 8, 1996, to her parents Diana and Gregory Lueck. Her father worked in healthcare logistics and administration, and her mother was a housewife. She was raised in the city of El Segundo in Los Angeles County, California, along with one older brother and two younger brothers. She attended El Segundo High School, where she competed on the swimming team and played water polo. She was a dedicated student and had a passion for art, music, and animals. She then attended the University of Utah, where she majored in kinesiology and pre-nursing and was a member of the Alpha Chi Omega sorority. As a student at the University of Utah, she expressed feminist opinions and left one of the major political parties to register with a conservative third party. Lueck worked at a Salt Lake City biological testing company where she'd recreate those days when she used to bike to the Pacific Ocean by putting on her bikini and basking in the sun that shines on the high-altitude desert. She planned to have a career in health sciences, speaking to advisors about going to nursing or medical school, which she was going to graduate in May 2020. The Lueck family lived a seemingly ordinary life, but that all changed on June 17, 2019, when Mackenzie flew back to Salt Lake City, Utah, after attending her grandmother's funeral. On June 17, 2019, in the early morning hours, when Lueck arrived at the Salt Lake City International Airport in Utah from California at around 2 a.m., she texted her mother, "Landed," and "Love you, Mama." However, when Diana tried to respond shortly after, she realized that her daughter's phone was off. Furthermore, Gregory tried to call Mackenzie, only to be redirected to her voicemail, which made the Lueck family become genuinely worried about her well-being. On June 20th, when her parents discovered that her friends hadn't seen or heard from her either, they reported Mackenzie missing to the Salt Lake City Police Department. For the next 2 weeks, while Diana, Gregory, and their 3 sons tried to do all they could to find the whereabouts of Mackenzie from California, her Alpha Chi Omega sorority sisters stepped up to find her in Utah. Together, they even created the defunct Find Mackenzie Lueck Facebook page to garner national media attention on the matter. As the investigators were figuring out what could have happened, they found video evidence that Mackenzie had been at the airport. She was then picked up by a Lyft driver and she was taken to Hatch Park in North Salt Lake, about 13 miles away. The investigators also searched her cell phone records, which confirmed she had been at the park. The detectives also learned she had exchanged several text messages with an unknown person called Ajayi, whom it was believed they met on a dating website and agreed to meet, and her last text to him was at 2:58 a.m., The cell phone data placed Mackenzie and Ajayi at Hatch Park at the same time, at 2:59 a.m. Mackenzie's phone also stopped transmitting data or location information at 2:59 a.m., which meant that her phone had been powered off. The detectives then tracked Ajayi's cell phone signal, which led them from the park to his home at 547 North 1000 West in the Fair Park neighborhood. The investigators realized that Ajayi's cell phone was at his home at 3:07 a.m., which was just 7 to 8 minutes after picking Lueck up from the park. The detectives then decided to execute a search warrant at his home since he was the prime suspect in the disappearance of Mackenzie. After the investigators executed the search warrant to search Ajayi's home, they discovered a freshly dug site in his backyard. Inside the dug site, they found a charred human bone, muscular tissue, and burned personal items, and in a nearby alleyway, they also found charred fabric and other items which were confirmed to belong to Mackenzie after the DNA of the bone matched the DNA profile found in items belonging to her. As the search continued in Ajayi's place of residence, a neighbor reported that there had been a horrible smell coming from a bonfire fueled by gasoline in Ajayi's backyard behind a garage on June 17, and again on June 18, in the same location where detectives had discovered freshly dug shallow grave with the bone and tissue inside. The investigators seized Ajayi's vehicle when they found a strong odor of gas and a red gas can in the trunk. They further determined that Ajayi had purchased a similar gas can at a local store at 9 a.m. the morning Mackenzie went missing. After Ajayi was arrested, the investigators further analyzed Ajayi's cell phone records that placed the phone in Logan Canyon, the place where Ajayi confessed to his attorneys to have buried Mackenzie's body, on June 25 between 2:30 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. The detectives conducted an extensive search of the area and found recently disturbed ground in a wooded area off the main road. It was in this location where they found a charred human body on July 3. The medical examiner's office determined the body was that of Mackenzie Lueck. Mackenzie's arms had been bound behind her back by zip tie and rope. The medical examiner determined the cause of death was blunt force trauma on the left side of her skull, and ruled her death a homicide. On October 7, 2020, Ajayi pleaded guilty to first-degree aggravated murder and third-degree desecration of a human body in connection with Lueck's death. Ajayi was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole and additional 5 years in prison for desecrating Lueck's body. Ajayi was also charged with the March 2018 kidnapping of another woman who he met on a dating app. The victim came forward after Ajayi was arrested for Lueck's murder. Ajayi pleaded guilty to 1 count of second-degree forcible sexual abuse in connection to this case on October 7, 2020. He was later sentenced to 1 to 15 years in prison for the crime. Ajayi also was charged with 19 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. These charges came about in August 2019 after police also say that they found numerous pornographic photos of children on his computer as they investigated Lueck's death on July 2. The photos allegedly depicted children between the ages of 4 and 8. Ajayi pleaded not guilty to the charges on October 1, 2020, and the pornography charges were later dismissed. The tragic death of Mackenzie Speth Lueck shook her loved ones and the entire nation. Her bright smile, her passion for life, and her dreams of making a difference in the world were cut short in a senseless act of violence. But despite the sadness and grief, Mackenzie's loved ones have come together to honor her memory and celebrate her life. Her sorority sisters remember her as a shining light, always there to lend a helping hand or a kind word. And through her artwork, her music, and her love for animals, Mackenzie's spirit lives on. Mackenzie's story serves as a reminder that we must always be vigilant and stay safe, especially when using online dating services. But more than that, it reminds us of the value of life and the importance of cherishing every moment. Rest in peace, Mackenzie Speth Lueck.